embark on a journey of limitless curiosity? Join us on the Being Curious Show, where we curiously connect teachers and seekers in a safe space, exploring a vast array of topics that spark the flame of curiosity within you. We've created a community for thoughtful discussions where teachers share their wisdom and seekers explore the depths of their curiosity. It's a space where diverse perspectives come together, fostering connection and understanding. Our intention is simple: to ignite your curiosity and create a life that totally lights you up. Every conversation is a journey, a chance to explore, learn, and embrace the magic that life has to offer. Connect with the Being Curious Show on all major podcast platforms at the Edge Network, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Being Curious Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful ones. Welcome to the Being Curious Show.
You have a great day outside. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. A little bit of IT issues today, and we had to kind of bring the angels in and here, there, and everywhere, and it was just an interesting start. So I apologize, everyone. We're starting a little late today.
Hey, we are on angel time, and angel time says we're close enough, right? That's what I heard the other day. Kelly, we have someone really cool on today. Him and I jumped on while you were working on some.
You look
IT
fancy
stuff
today.
Well,
you look like I think you knew we had a very special guest.
I did, and I thought I had to sparkle. So, you know me, I'm never without my sparkles.
Kind of scraped it up a little bit.
I did. I was like getting ready, and I'm like, I wear a lot of black, and so I'm like, you know what? Today we just need a little. It's Terrific Tuesday. I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays I call Terrific Tuesdays. Called them that for a long time, and then I bopped down with this Royce, and I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I needed this morning. Exactly. Just this little beautiful energy that I can't wait for people to get to meet him and experience what he does and how he does it. So I think this is going to be awesome. Well, so do I jump in and tell him about it? Should we talk about him? Should we get going? Huh?
Should we get going, or should we just kind of tease a little bit more?
Shay, do you have a singing bowl somewhere?
I do. And actually mine's packed up. Because I went and I took it to a show. So mine's packed up, but I know someone. So have you ever been to a sound bath or experienced anything like that? You're like, Kelly, this is not my first rodeo.
And I have some bowls myself that are going to take a new altar. I'm in the middle of purging my entire cottage and redoing it. And so when it's done, my singing bowls are going to be magically next to a very beautiful place in where I'm going to move my studio to. And so I will have them because the magic of the bowls is amazing. And Royce takes it to a new level. And so how cool is that?
Okay. Without further ado, welcome to the show, Mr.
Hey. Hello. Welcome.
Don't you wish you had like that every single time you did something? You're like, okay.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you guys are wonderful. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks.
So Royce, I just want to give them a couple words that are on my sheet here because I don't know, we pay somebody to do these beautiful sheets for us and they say beautiful things. And I just want to tell people, you've been a lifelong musician. You've also been a lifelong yoga teacher, and you have beautifully twined together the combination of movement and music and healing. And as a therapist, so somebody who did therapy with people for over 30 years, how beautiful of a gift it is to let people heal through something as magical as music. And then you add a little movement, and ta-da-da, I'm going to roll it right off to you. Tell us about what you do and how you do it. We can't wait to hear about it.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you. That was a perfect setup. Yeah, I call my signature sound bath is what I call it. And it is a combination of all those. And what I love is we use the movement in the beginning to begin to open the body. We're compressed. We hold a lot of things in. So open up that first chakra, open up the heart chakra, open up the spine so that the sound can flow through it. And then I love to do a couple pranayama exercises or breathing exercises. One, to let go of anything that you're holding on to that you don't need. It's called breath of joy. I don't know that it's really joyful when you do it, but when it's over, you feel great. And then the final breathing exercise is like bee breathing. And it's about bringing the sound of the bowls into your body. So I play one of the bowls and the whole room hums together. And we start to bring it into our body. And then I do about a 40-minute sound bath. That is just a beautiful mix of alchemies and sounds. And so that's kind of the experience. It's really wonderful.
So if anybody, and I feel like I want to take just a micro step back.
Okay.
What is a sound bath? And what, for anybody that, because I really like, okay, so in our world, sound baths are, it's like,
Yep.
of course, right? What kind of sound bath do you want to take? But I bet there's some curious people out there that are like, I've kind of heard about this sound thing, and I've heard about gongs and bowls and laying down and then you play. And how is that a massage for your soul? So tell us a little bit more about sound baths.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, a sound bath is essentially a meditation. So it's a guided meditation. And so usually there's some words in the beginning where we set our intention. The basis of a sound bath is that frequency plus intention equals healing. And that came from Jonathan Goldman, who's the forefather, I guess, of sound healing in the United States. And so I obviously set an intention for the group of peace and love during this, but each person can set their own intention. And so then once you set your intention and I start playing the bowls, I invite the receivers to come into a place between being awake and being asleep and just allow their mind to wander, and their body relaxes. And as it relaxes, it begins to heal itself. And so it's both a spiritual journey and a physical journey.
Awesome. Kelly, you and I are on the same page, because look what I wrote right over here. Please break it down for us, like for the newbies, because here's the thing is we want people to experience these new ways. Let me ask you something. You keep talking about people. How many people? Because am I alone in the room? Am I with others? Do I get to choose? Is it friends? Is it not friends? Because, some people are a little bit nervous about being in a room of healing, because some people tell us what their options are.
Well, absolutely. Well, at this point, I'm doing group sound baths. And so it can range anywhere from 2 to 15 is what fits in the room. And so if you want to be with all your friends, I just say you call them all up and you have them come to my website on the same day and you all sign up together. And you can actually, it's interesting because communities do that. I have several groups of people who come as groups of friends. They always sign up the same night. And what's interesting is they're studying, there's a lot of people out in California studying sound healing. And I think it's the UCLA is one of the universities that's doing a lot. And they talk about when you come together as a group, your bodies all start to vibrate together, and it creates this healing field that you support each other during. And so that's really the beauty of doing it as a group. Is you obviously you've got both yourself and the support of everyone in the room. Even though they're just laying there, they're all supporting you with their love and their frequency and their vibration. And it's really a nice experience.
I was at a experience on Friday night, a healing and a sound bath, and it was very interesting. It was the Friday before Mother's Day, and we were in a circle. I don't sit on the ground due to some knee stuff, but I was in a chair, and the woman in front of us shared that she had just lost her mother and how the healing was so comforting for her. And it was so interesting because they had handed out cards when we were done, and the woman next to her pulled the mother card. Okay. Wow. Powerful, right? Guess what I pulled? The grandmother card. And so it's just like, as she was healing, you could just feel these energies come around all of us. I lost my mother 4 years ago. The woman who pulled the mother card lost her mother a couple years ago. And here right in front of us was somebody who newly experienced it. But it was amazing to me how the healing circled through everyone. And that's exactly what you're talking about, is that we all come together, and our energies and our synergies, along with the music and the movement, really brings it to the next level. And I just think it's a powerful.
Well, it does. I mean, I'll take us on a little side journey here. During my sound healing training, I don't know if anyone watches the Great British Bake Off, but I kind of felt like it was the Great British Bake Off, where except no one gets voted off the island. And so it's like, all right, sound healers, for your next adventure, I want you to look at this page and tell me what emotion jumps off. And the emotion that came off was grief. And the assignment was I needed to grab a bowl and I needed to heal myself from grief. And I had just lost my parents a few months before. And so using the bowls to release the grief and heal in front of my other teachers was an amazing moment. And then later, everyone had to pull a piece of paper out of a bin. And the woman who came to me to be healed, again, needed to heal from grief. And so that same moment of how the connection is there, and we help each other heal through these moments, right?
Oh, it's so, so powerful and so beautiful. It's just amazing. And when you can heal in a group like that, you just all leave like you connected somehow as you enter out into the world. It's beautiful connection. That is so cool.
So I want to
So
bring
cool.
people back because you're a lifelong musician. You
Mhm.
are a yoga instructor. And I will tell everybody, I was so blessed to be able to experience Royce and their signature sound bath, but they're just an experience last week. And you infused the yogi, you infused the musician, and then you have these bowls, and they're not just the average bowls. So you're walking in Sedona, you're at a window, you see these beautiful bowls, and tell us about that moment, because that's what just whoomp for you. It's the yoga, it's the musician, and then it's almost like it's the triad. I just keep seeing a little triad, and it all kind of whoomp and came in.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm kind of a designer as well, and so like we were walking in Sedona and came upon this store that was all glass windows, and it was filled with over 200 bowls that were singing bowls. And what was amazing about them is they were all these amazing colors, and they spark. Well, they didn't sparkle; they really shimmered. And what I later learned was that these bowls are all infused with crystals. And so it's a combination of precious metals and crystals that are embedded into the pure quartz. And quartz is a great transmitter of energy. In fact, all of our cell phones have it. In fact, the quartz bowls were actually invented in the United States around 2000 out in California, because they were using all the quartz for the computers. And so the thought is that the crystals that are embedded are being vibrated out to the people as well. And so like I have carnelian in one. And so that moment of releasing what isn't serving you or pulling in what you need, or another one is like androgynous idiom. And so it's about balancing our male and female energies. And so the bowls all have a unique mix of crystals and stuff in them. And so you get the added benefit. I always say that it's the combination of the frequency and the alchemies are giving you a multivitamin for the soul. And so that's kind of the way I think about it.
So when you picked your bowls, tell us about how you picked your bowls.
So it's interesting because I picked my bowl. I wanted to start with my heart chakra bowl because that was the first singing bowl I ever heard, and it was a healing practice for me. And so I was asked, well, how do you want to pick your bowl? Do you want to pick it by price, by size, by color? What do you want? And I said, I want to pick the one that sounds right to me. And so she played 8 different bowls, I think, I don't know, maybe 7. And I listened to each one and I said, that's the one I want to buy. And what was fascinating about it was a divine series bowl. So it has 5 different alchemies mixed in it to balance like a feng shui. But it was also tuned to 528 frequency, which is the frequency of unconditional love. And it was the only bowl that was up tuned to that. And so I think that was pretty powerful as well.
Awesome. I love that you said the bowl picked you. I think so many times we go in and our head starts to say those questions, price, that. But it's like stones. It's like anything. It's like, go to what draws you. That is where your partnership is. That's when you really go from there. That is so cool. So tell me, how can people incorporate sound and healing into their daily lives? What's your suggestion? How do people start? How do people make it? Do they do it ongoing? Do they have to come? So tell us how they begin the journey and where to start. How does all that happen?
Well, actually, the easiest and the quickest way is to just hum. We've been doing sound healing since the beginning of time. If you think about it, I mean, every young mother hums to their baby. And that's a moment where that baby feels that comfort. And so there's even moments when I'm out and about, if I'm starting to feel some anxiety in my heart or down in my belly, I will just hum and let the sound go in there and it will calm me. And so anyone can begin to heal themselves that way as well. And then, it's so interesting because again, it's frequency plus intention. So any music can be that. We've all seen the power of music to take us to that mountaintop high where the chills run down our back, or it takes us to that incredibly intimate moment. So if there's intention behind the music that is loving and healing, it can heal you. I mean, we all have our favorite songs that we listen to in those moments that we need a little something, right? And then obviously the moments where you come to a sound bath, whether you do it virtually or in person, although I think the in-person's better because you really feel the vibrations against your skin and in your bones in a way that you don't get it the same way when you do it online, unless you have amazing headsets or an amazing speaker in the room. But that's, that's the ultimate moment where you give yourself that moment. And self-care is not selfish, right? We take care of ourselves so that we're better able to show up for those in our life who need us. And so, giving yourself that gift of an in-person moment is really special too.
Well, self-care should be on one of the food lists or something, because it really, I mean, it's as important as drinking water. It's as important as eating. It's as important as exercise. People, they always, they apologize when they go to do something good for themselves. I'm like, apologize? I schedule it, right? I schedule that stuff because I can't be me until I take care of the things I need to take care of. I can't show up with sparkles if I don't get rid of some stuff so I can sparkle, because the sparkles have to come from inside. So I think that's the best part, is that people need to look at it as, what are you doing today, this week, right now for yourself? I mean, I know for myself, I have certain music I listen to on my way to an event, and I could sing that at the top of my lungs and my whole vibrate. I walk in, do, like up here. And I see so many people as they drive down the road, they're jamming, they're singing. And I call it healing. The people heal in their cars. They feel safe. And so this just extends it. So take the music from your car and go to a sound bath and really feel the vibration, or you just have to do it. It's amazing. The humming thing I love. I have younger people I work with, and when they feel anxiety, that's the one thing I say to them is whistle, hum, connect, drop in, and that humming just distracts them from the anxiety. It distracts them from what's the, kind of the chaos that's shooting at them. It just kind of brings them in. So I love that piece, but that is perfect. So how can people find you, Royce? Where do they find you?
Well, of course they go to the edge to find me.
Right.
Right. It's going to be in
Absolutely.
the new issue, right? You're going to be in the new issue. You're in the directory. So you're on the directory right now that's online. Or are you in this directory?
I'm online, and then I'll be in the June issue. So I'm super excited to join the family and be there. And so that's great.
Rock on.
And then, yes, they can find me online at HiveEnlivenedLiving.com is the website that I've set up. And I'm doing weekly sound baths out at the West End shops. And then I'm working on some special events with a variety of other people. So I'll be showing up throughout the month in many new places.
Awesome.
You
Tell
are.
us what you call yourself. Tell us what you call yourself.
Oh,
Come on, share it.
I mean, it's one of those moments where you're both proud and you just don't want to be like, I don't know, but I call myself a sound alchemist. And I love the title when I really started to dig into the word alchemist. I mean, I think we think about an alchemist from, back in history, where it was someone who took metals and turned them into gold. But really, in the modern day definition, an alchemist is someone who transforms things for the better. And I just, when I saw that definition of alchemist and the fact that the bowls have alchemies in it, it just really felt right. And each one of us comes together, and everyone in the room is an alchemist, right? Because they're all transforming themselves for the better. And so I just really love that word.
Well, it's beautiful.
And take metals and turn them into gold. So take problems and turn them into sparkles. And that's what the bowls do. That I love that. I love that transformation piece. That is so beautiful. I see souls, and your soul is just so light and so beautiful and so filled with joy that I'm sure it just comes right through the bowls and right into the people that you work with. It's a beautiful gift, Royce. I'm sorry, Miss Kelly, you were just about to say something.
No, I'm just enjoying, it's really fun about doing shows like this, and especially with a co-host that you're very aligned with, because there's times where you're driving and then other times where you're just enjoying, and I'm just like enjoying watching your conversation. Then I'm like, oh, wait a sec, I'm on camera too. I'm a part of this, right? So My crystals started to talk. My crystals were like,
Oh.
hello, hello. What roles do crystals play in sound healing? No, so they're infused in the bowls, but do you bring crystals into any other component of it, or do you just have them in your pockets and call it a day?
Well, I have it in my pocket and call it a day. I'm sorry, that was such a beautiful setup of a story. I mean,
No, but I love it. No, it's all good.
But
it's so important though, right?
But I think what's interesting is when I prepare myself for the sound bath, I have a ritual that I do with my.
Tell us about your ritual.
Well, I call it soul singing, but I usually start with the chakra bowl, and I usually do just a couple ohms where I start to tune and let the vibration come into my body and ground in that root chakra. And then soul singing is about just letting go, and wherever the song goes, it goes. And so you hum or you ooh or you run up scales or run around, but you just sing with the bowls and play several of them. And I usually do that for about 10 minutes. And I think it's all of those crystals in that moment that kind of get me aligned with the bowls. And you feel your third eye buzz during all of this, and you're ready. So it's like, it's just this, and yeah.
So I think you need to add sparkles when you do those.
I think I might.
Yeah. So you need to swing by the shop because I can hook you up with the sparkles and the tiara. We can get you. You will be a sparkle. Could you see him with the tiara on, sparkles on his face, spinning the bowls? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh. You will have arrived at that point, Royce. Arrived. That'll be a healing session for all around you. I love it.
Oh, Cheryl, you don't know how understated I try to be.
Well, listen here, Royce. You met me. There's no more understatement. Once you meet me, it's all over, boy. It's all over.
Oh, I'm pre-show, so just like giving everyone as I'm having IT issues. I'm watching Cheryl and Royce after they've known each other for about 15 seconds, just going on like peas and carrots. They were just and I was like, Cheryl doesn't need me for this one. She's gonna like, this is great. No, I love connections like that. That just makes me so incredibly happy. Touching, I am gonna ask you this.
Ooh.
No. I because we're like this, and then I want to do this for just a moment, and I'm seeing you at your beautiful experiences, and it's you have everyone ready, everybody's calm, because by the way, the whole movement, like I've never been to a sound bath where you have to move a little bit. So I'm sitting here at the West End and we're getting in, and it was Cinco de Mayo. So like parking was crazy and like all this stuff. So I'm there and I walk in, of course, see someone that I knew. And I was just like, hello, beautiful one. So you kind of get settled in. And then Royce is like, and now we're going to move. And I'm like, no, we're not going to move. I just want to get all comfortable in my little cocoon and experience it. But the movements that you did really do, it was gentle, it was beautiful, it was just kind of opening and settling, and you knew you knew the room, if that makes any weird sense. Like you knew exactly where to take people. There were people seated, there were people laying down. Tell me about that knowing or that experience that you've seen and you've witnessed and you've been a part of and you've orchestrated. I'm like in the middle of one of your experiences. Have you witnessed yes, you have. Tell me, I'm not going to ask you. Tell me about witnessing people releasing. Tell me about, because that is sacred, safe space. And I had to ramble to get to my question. I had to totally ramble there, and I apologize for it. But there is a moment right when people are starting to go in between that consciousness and they've settled in, they've let go, and you're just in flow. Tell me how that feels.
How it feels for me or how it feels for them?
No, for you.
Oh, wow. How do you describe what it feels like?
I know. That's why it took me forever to ask you.
Well, I mean, part of it is obviously you create the sacred container, right? You have to hold the space. And I think that's what my yoga teaching has taught me that. And I would say where I'm at in sound healing is so much farther than I was where I was at in yoga at this point, because I brought all of that with me. And so, yeah, I mean, like you're in the flow, you're feeling it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's interesting because I think for many people, the release comes in the silence that follows. And so I play for about 35 or 40 minutes. And I tell people I'm going to leave you in silence for about 5 minutes. And frequently it's longer than 5 minutes because you can tell that no one's ready to come out. I mean, they are still deep. It's in that moment that I think a lot of the magic happens, where things just kind of solidify. And it's interesting. One of my coworkers came, and at that point she broke into tears. And at first she was self-conscious, and then she goes, no, this is a safe place for healing. I am supposed to cry here. And she did. And she also had just recently lost one of her parents. And so, she, emailed me later about, how it was just a perfect moment to release this energy that had been built up, and that it felt loving and safe. And so, yeah, it's amazing that sometimes it happens in the silence, not in the sound. But the sound helps bubble everything up, and when you're ready to release, you do.
I'm seeing this song by Frou Frou called The Beauty in the Breakdown. And I encourage people to go check it out, because it is about, in that safe space, allowing yourself to release or break down or cry or scream or whatever, and then throwing it up in that safe space, knowing that you're going to be in that beautiful container, and then just sitting with it. Because a lot of people will have something happen and then go, or they'll start to cry and then like, no, I'm not crying. Cry.
Right. Yes.
Let the tears fall.
Well, one person who came, like, he was just so restless. And afterwards, everyone was kind of sharing. This was in my early days. And so, these were all friends. And so they were sharing, and this person did not have a good experience. And I felt awful. I'm like, well, maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. But then about 2 weeks later, he sent me an email, and he said, you know what? That had nothing to do with you. I realized how out of balance my life was, because I couldn't tune in and I couldn't relax, because so much was going on in my head from my job, that I've decided to make a difficult decision in life. And so it's just one of those moments where it gave him the courage to reevaluate what was important to him.
You cracked the door. You cracked that door. And that is the gift. You bet. That is the gift. When we as intuitives, when we in the spiritual world, when our job isn't always to help them find the answers, sometimes it's to get them to get to the platform. Sometimes it's to get that door unlocked. You don't know what that little teeny tweak we're going to offer for them that's going to be life-changing. And so, that's the beauty in it. And, it's one here, I even have a challenge for you as somebody who likes, as an author. It'd be nice for you to start to take some of those notes down and be able to compile them into something for people to read, for people to get, because it gives people so people who are afraid to say, well, I don't know if I go there, like, what if my phone goes off? Do I have permission? Some people don't have permission to turn their phone off, for goodness gracious. And so coming to one of the events, you give them that permission, turn your phone off. You give them permission to separate for a few minutes. You give them that, those so many permissions that they don't give themselves. And I think that's some of the beauty when the healing starts, is somebody else makes those decisions for somebody to be able to allow themselves that door just to crack a little bit, and then let it resonate enough when they feel safe enough to say, I get it. I get why I wasn't safe, or I get why I didn't hear the sound bath like I did. But really, they did hear it. It just took longer to resonate, longer to reach the heart. And that's all it is. That's a beautiful thing. That's such a beautiful thing. And I think write down some of those things. I don't know. I see a book coming. I see a book, Royce. A beautiful book with the beautiful bowls on it, something about, but I think it's, how do you choose? Like, how do you choose how you're going to play the bowls that night? Let's ask that question.
That is a great question. It's interesting because if I'm doing a one-on-one, which I don't do that often, I'm 100% intuitive, and I let the bowls take me where they want.
Yep.
Because the bowls are conscious. Like, there's moments in time where the bowl doesn't want to ring. I mean, you're rubbing it and it just doesn't want to ring, and to go on. Yep. But when I do the group sound baths, I tend to have a little bit of a structure in my head to make sure that I'm giving a little bit of something for everyone. But I love to begin with a sequence that I call spirit. And it's a moment where I'm inviting the spirit in to be with us. And it's also a really great way to help people relax. And so I always love beginning with that. And then I always end with the same couple bowls that I call enliven living. And it's the most beautiful chord that I can make with the bowls. And it's just this wonderful, loving sound that just fades away. And I just feel like I always want to bookend it with those two moments. And then what happens in the middle is guided by whatever the spirit wants.
Love it. Love
Now,
it.
we've had anyone become curious in exploring sound healing as a career or personal practice? What advice would you give them? Because I know that you're only like a couple blocks ahead of them. So, right? Well, no, but that's what's so beautiful about it.
Mhm.
I mean, Cheryl's been in business. You've been in corporate. I mean, I've been in, I mean, and how do we collectively share our experiences? I don't want to say it's always wisdom, but how do we share the experiences? So what would you share with people?
Well, I guess my advice is like, this is a moment where it's going to sound cliche, but follow your heart. Like there was no logic to me needing a singing bowl when I saw them, but they were so beautiful and I didn't stop thinking about them and I wanted them. Right. And so it was that moment where you just followed that invisible hand that was pulling you. And I think, you know, we only get one life, right? Well, one life in this form. And so the question is like, are you filling your days with what you love? And you need to, right? And so it's that moment of, you know, follow those moments of what brings you happiness and see where it's going to take you. And yeah, I still have my corporate job, but now I'm out doing yoga and I'm doing some sound baths and it's becoming a really interesting mix.
Are you finding more or different or insert X word in your corporate job because you're doing this on the side and creating that frequency with it? Are you finding more joy in your day?
Well, it's interesting because I think in many ways I feel like in some ways I've become the heart of our organization where we've gone through some difficult transformations and just helping to hold it together while we're there. And I think I definitely think people are seeing me with a different energy. You know, there's sort of this, you're one of our forefather moments and we need you for stability. And, you know, so I do think people are seeing me differently, even though I don't see myself differently. I'm showing up in a different way there. And the number of people who, you know, now that I've been playing the bowls a lot, you know, the number of people just say your energy's great. Like they're just sensing it, right?
I could see people like just ending up in your office and they're like, I don't know why I'm here, but I just hello. And or are in meetings and they're like, that was the like this was a meeting where we had to have some courageous conversations, but Royce was here and oh wow, what a great outcome. I just see that frequency. Just
Or I just need a hug. And they come up and
I would
like, okay, I get hugs. I love hugs.
Oh my God.
Right. You know, I think you touched on something there, Royce, and I just want to go back to it for a second. I coach I am a mentor for many clients, and a lot of my clients are where you are. They're still between, you know, their corporate or their job and their passion. And one of the things that I keep showing them, and this sounds like it happens with you, is you are where you are because the world needs you to be there right now. Not everybody, like myself, are in the spiritual world 100% of the time, but I did spend 30 years, you know, as a therapist. And so, and working with people, but I think that we need you in the corporate world, bringing that love, bringing that light, bringing that energy. I've got a gal who works for one of the richest mans in Rochester, and he said their business has never been so solid, so smooth, so calm since she arrived a year and a half ago. He keeps giving her an increase of money. She keeps wanting to go do her work, and he keeps giving her an increase of money to come into the office because of the energy we hold. And I think that's the value there is people don't be in a rush to go create a career somewhere. Do it, follow your passion, go at your pace, but don't be in such a rush to leave because you show up differently now. And the world needs you in those different places to hold that love, to hold that light, and to give hugs. How beautiful is that? That's an awesome gift you bring. And the more you do the bowls, the more shine that comes off you. You know, I'm telling you, you're going to be wearing glitter to work in no time. Want to bet me, Kelly?
Oh,
let's go.
Oh no, it's just what glitter is he gonna wear?
Don't worry. I got a little bit for everything. I got you.
I know you do.
And you can get bigger. And oh my goodness, we'd have so much fun playing. That's
is it
all
travel glitter?
I got everything. I got travel glitter.
Yeah,
I got it all.
Right.
Well, hook him up.
You never know.
You know, spread a little sparkle wherever you go. That's my motto, right?
That's
I love it.
Poor Royce.
Okay,
Royce is
Royce.
like, dude, can I end this interview?
Yeah, he's like, can I please just give my website? I need to go.
no.
I'm just kidding.
I'm looking forward
Okay.
to the next time I come back.
Oh, we're gonna have fun. Oh, Royce is gonna be a regular on the show. What's
Awesome.
coming up in so we are taping, and actually we go live when we tape. New
Yep.
format for the show. We're mid-May right now. What's coming up in May and June for Royce and your bulls?
Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, I've got several collaborations that I'm working on. It'll be fun. I'm working with a friend. We're going to do a fire ceremony for people to release what isn't serving them. And then I'll do a sound bath to open you to new possibilities. I have another friend that I'm going to be doing a summer solstice experience with. And so more details, but he has earth wisdom. And so he's going to guide us through the 4 directions and then set us up for a sound bath for so that'll be fun. So many new fun things coming.
You have a lot of fun things, and it's lovely watching you network in the community. And I don't say that in a networking corporate way, but just, oh, hello, old friend. An old friend knows this old friend, and you're just the connections that you're making, and just witnessing and being a part of it is just glorious, sparkly. Okay, Royce, what's your website?
www.hiveenlivenedliving.com.
And it's right below, so everyone can get it. You're also a part of the Edge. Cheryl, any parting words before we say goodbye?
You know, I had an awesome first start to my morning, and then it just got a big exclamation point after meeting you. It's phenomenal. Your energy exudes from you. I can understand why corporate wants you. I want to get into one of your sound baths. I want to be there. You know, you're part of the Edge family now, so welcome. Welcome to our family, our community, us all working together. You know, and I look forward to having you on. I look forward to experiencing your sound bath. I look forward to looking at these events, you know, a fire ceremony, you know, me and burning things and letting stuff go, Kelly. I'm always lighting that magic paper. Pop-poo! So that would be just powerful. And summer solstice, you know, we are entering that time of year of living and being alive and being outside and connecting to the 4 elements and really engulfing that. And I can't imagine then you amplifying it with the sound bath. So I am going to look for both of those on your website. You are a pleasure and a joy to meet. I am so excited that I've now met you. I am now going to call you my friend. And so take that. And I'm going to find you some glitter.
I'm yours, Cheryl.
Awesome, Royce. I can't wait. We're having coffee, dude. That's all I got to say. We are 2 peas in a pod, and we need to get together and put our heads together and have some laughter and share some sparkles. Kelly, we'll bring you in on our cup of coffee because we know you're always up for one. She is. She's always up for coffee.
Well, excellent. Well, I'll give you a hug.
Yay! Hugs all around.
Hugs. We love
Okay,
hugs.
you guys.
Thank you. Yes.
This is awesome, and this is why we do the Being Curious show. And be curious, everybody. If you've never heard of a sound bath or you've been to one before and you're like, oh, check out what Royce is doing and creating. And it's just, you guys, I went and it was just amazing. And I just, he just embodies it, and it's gorgeous. It's yummy. It's gooey. People take drugs to get the feeling that you got with your sound bowls and your experience. Like I sat there and I was like, gosh, I did stuff in college that had no impact like this was. And all it was just sharing time with Royce and his bowls. So it was amazing. Thank you so much for being on. Okay, everybody.
Thank you.
edgemagazine.net. You can absolutely check out Royce. Cheryl, what's your website? Give a little plug.
It's CherylKerrigan.com. You can't go any better than that. I will be at the Orapalooza this Saturday. I'll be doing some readings. My shop is open. Lots and lots of magical new things. So come on by. A little bit of sparkle for you, Royce. That's all I got to say. And come on by. We'll be there. And lots of fun things coming up. So check out my website. And yeah, I look forward to seeing everyone.
Okay, well, it's magazine week. Steve's working really, really hard on the next edition. The next one is Letting Go. Oh my God, we're just like what we're talking about, like letting go. I just saw the cover. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. So thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting our show. Royce, it is an honor. And this is just the beginning. This is
Mhm.
I
just
love
the
it.
beginning as we go arm in arm and
Mhm.
magically disappear. Everyone, have a beautiful day. Check everything out. Be kind to yourself
Yes.
and others. And
Always.
mahalo.
Mahalo.
Are you ready to dive into a world of exploration, enlightenment, and higher consciousness? The Edge Magazine media platform is your ultimate one-stop shop for all things curious. We're a vibrant community of seekers and teachers passionate about sharing our gifts and abilities to help the collective explore, develop, and understand our journey towards higher consciousness. Our website, edgemagazine.net, receives over 10,000 views each month, boasting unique articles, enlightening forecasts, and insightful book reviews. Over 15,000 copies of the Edge magazine are printed every other month and distributed to over 400 locations across the Midwest. Experience a world of opportunities with the Edge magazine. Unleash exposure through enticing print and online ads, Edge Partner Directory membership, and community calendar listings. Share your experience in radio and multimedia interviews, connecting with our diverse community, and join our vibrant events. Connect with like-minded individuals and share your gifts here, there, and everywhere.